Hey team! I am so excited about getting to share with you one of my tips and tricks and takeaways that I got from Summit last weekend. I have been thinking all day about this, and I was so excited when my work day, because today's my first day back to school, got out a little early because I could rush home and make this video for you before I went and picked up my boys in just a few minutes. I love this tip because it is something that we can all as a team start implementing today. And it doesn't take a lot of time, and it doesn't take a lot of thought, and it's fun. And that is inviting. And I know you're sitting there thinking, inviting, but ew, because of the 4 vital behaviors, it is definitely has been my least favorite. But in the breakout session, when they talked about this, they really broke it down in a way that makes it not so icky, or makes it not so stressful, or give you as much anxiety. Because I know sometimes that's what inviting does for me, especially when I was a brand new coach. Today at lunch, I had lunch with Jen and one of my challengers, and it kind of came up how my challenger had just received a message from someone who sells Rodan and Fields, and she said, I had not talked to this person in 20 years. Like, yes, we're friends on Facebook, but I haven't heard from her. We hadn't communicated. There's not been any kind of relationship with us for 20 years. And I got this random message saying, hey, would you be interested in buying skincare products from me? I really think you'd use this. And she said, I didn't even respond because it was just really strange. And she just got that icky feeling. But then she turned around and said, I like the way that you guys kind of, to me and Jen, in your post, you open the door for me to come to you. And it's not just that I know that you're stalking me and that you are advertising our page. And, that really made me feel good, because that's what our team does. That's how we have all hopefully built our business. We share what we do, and then we open the door for them. But the key to that is having those relationships. And one of the breakout sessions that I did, they talked about the tunnel of inviting. And this is a picture that I took of the screen, so I apologize that it's a little blurry. But this is what they talked about, the invite funnel. I think I called it a tunnel or something. But the way that this works is that with people, you build relationships. It starts with an invite. So you send them they're already your friend, or you send them a friend request. And then you just start building that relationship with them. And that can be either commenting on their pictures or liking their pictures, just kind of reappearing in their life, and then eventually sending them a message saying, hey girl, how are you doing? I love your family. I love seeing pictures of your family. How have you been? And starting to build that relationship again. And then when you have free groups, inviting them to the free group so they can see your value as a coach, see what they are going to get if they participate in a challenge group, then inviting them to the challenge group. And when they are rockstar challengers, then inviting them to a sneak peek, and then from there, inviting them to join your team as a coach. I really, really like this because there's no coldness to it. It's not sending somebody something that says, bye from me. I don't really care about you as a person. I just want you to help me make money. It's really putting the person first, finding out about them, and then leading up to potentially having them join your team as a coach. I know for me that my challengers that do the best are the challengers that I have the best relationships with. And that's including people that I don't know, who I have built relationships with off of Facebook. So I really, really liked this approach, and feel like from here on out, I have a good idea of what to do. So when I sit down and invite every day, I'm going to make a list of every single 3 to 5, not that many, or not, that's not an intimidating number, but write down their names of people that I've started conversations with. My goal for that vital behavior is to start conversations with 3 to 5 people. Now think how easy that is to say, hey, how are you doing? How's your family? Now keep in mind, they're going to respond, and those conversations do take time. But if you have set business hours, that's when you respond to those messages. For me, it's between 4:30 and 5, and then after my boys go to bed. So it's, you don't have to respond immediately. This is a conversation they're going to understand. People don't live on Facebook all the time, so don't feel like you have to respond immediately. But I think that is a great way to look at inviting. It's less intimidating, and it gives you exact action plans. So there is that. They also, I'm going to switch off of share. They also gave us some tips on inviting. When you're talking to people, be natural. You want to take your coach hat off and just talk to them like they're your best friend. You want to have your responses to be short or small and short responses. Don't want to word vomit on them, and just do 1 or 2 sentences. Also, take the focus off of you. People love to talk about themselves, but when you're having these conversations, it's very important that you let them talk about themselves. Let them think about how this affects them. Always end with a question. My older brother teaches, it just left me. He teaches classes, conversation classes and networking classes, Gail Carnegie classes. And we've talked a little bit about talking to people, and he said, Alden, when you're meeting new people and when you're networking with people, the people that are going to feel most connected to you are the people that you let talk about themselves the most. Because people love to talk about themselves. And at the end of that conversation, if you ask them questions and, don't bring yourself up, don't share about you, but just really put the focus on them the entire conversation, I bet you 100% of the time when people leave that conversation, they're going to think, man, I really liked Alden. She's really interesting. Now, they may not know anything about me, but that's okay when I'm talking to potential challengers and potential coaches, because I want them to feel valued and to feel like I care about them. That's how I want every conversation to end. Not just that I'm a coach and I want the attention on me, and this is what you can get from me, and this is what I can do for you. But taking another approach. They said to eliminate objections before they arise. So in your responses, when you're talking about the challenge groups, go ahead and bring up the time requirements of the workouts or the difficulty levels, or I would probably still leave money to the end, but that any of those objections. And be patient. This is something that I struggle with, because I want to get the conversations going and done, and let me send you the link and order your challenge pack, and there we go, and let me, let's get it done, because that's just how we are as people. We want everything like that. But with people, when we're dealing with these people, we have to be patient and not pushy and just go at their pace. And now, eventually, you don't want to keep going and going and going. You got to control the conversation and get it to the end, but still be very patient. And if they say, I just can't do it right now, say, okay, well, is it okay if I follow up with you in a few months? The worst they can say is no. And if they say no, then go and comment on more of their stuff and keep working on that relationship. Because eventually, I promise, usually they always come back, for me anyway. So I hope that is helpful. I hope that this is something that you feel like you can go and start implementing, start building those relationships, start caring about those people, show them how big your heart is, show them how big the heart of Beachbody is, and go change lives. So I will talk to you all soon. Go invite.